He was more than a pianist. His music could silence crowds, and his words could move nations. Ignacy Jan Paderewski rose from a doubtful student told he had no talent to an artist whose notes helped rebuild a free Poland. He united music and politics, art and mission, sound and freedom. This is the story of a man who played not just for audiences but for his nation. Ignacy Jan Paderewski was born on November 6, 1860, in Kurołka, Podolia, into a family with strong patriotic traditions. In his youth, he did not show any extraordinary musical talent. Many teachers believed he lacked the aptitude for piano. They criticized his poor technique, small hands, and excessive emotion. Yet young Ignacy refused to give up. With remarkable determination, he practiced for hours, fighting his own limitations. Paderewski later said that his success was not a gift, but the result of suffering. He practiced to the point of exhaustion, often for more than a dozen hours a day. At 12, he entered the Warsaw Conservatory, and after graduating, he continued his studies in Berlin and Vienna. His encounter with Professor Theodor Leszczyński proved transformative. The great teacher discovered in him what others had missed: passion, energy, and unique musical sensitivity. In 1888, Paderewski made his debut in Vienna and immediately captured the hearts of listeners. His playing combined technical brilliance with deep emotion. Audiences saw in him a poet of the piano. Soon he was performing in the greatest concert halls of Europe: London, Paris, Berlin. In 1891, he debuted in New York, where his concerts caused a real Paderewski mania. Crowds awaited him at train stations, and the American press hailed him as a cultural hero. The Paderewski phenomenon went far beyond music. He was the first artist to embody the qualities of a romantic genius, a celebrity, and a patriot. His characteristic mane of red hair, elegance, and charisma fascinated audiences. Although he could have lived a luxurious life, he always remembered Poland. His concerts often became patriotic manifestos, reminding the world of a nation erased from maps. For him, every performance was a mission art as a form of freedom. Paderewski was not only a pianist but also a composer. His greatest work was the opera Manru, premiered in Dresden in 1901, and later staged at New York's Metropolitan Opera, only Polish opera ever performed there. Though music brought him fortune, his ambitions went further. He wanted the world to know Poland, not through politics, but through culture, spirit, and the beauty of sound. When World War I broke out, Paderewski suspended his concerts and devoted himself to patriotic activism. He believed that fame was a responsibility. He traveled through Europe and the United States, delivering passionate, emotional speeches about Poland's right to independence. His addresses often ended with standing ovations. He moved people not with politics, but with heart, speaking of a nation that, despite suffering, had never lost its soul. In 1917, Paderewski met with U.S. President Woodrow Wilson. It was he who persuaded Wilson to include in his famous 14 points address the call for an independent Poland. That act changed history. Thanks to Paderewski, America began to see Poland not as a distant land, but as a symbol of the struggle for freedom. The pianist had become a diplomat in the truest sense, a man who spoke the universal language of the heart. After the war, Paderewski returned to Poland as a national hero. In 1919, he became Prime Minister and Minister of Foreign Affairs. Though his government was short-lived, it played a historic role. It was Paderewski who signed the Treaty of Versailles on behalf of Poland, confirming its restored sovereignty. His elegance, culture, and moral authority earned international respect. For millions of Poles, he embodied the dream fulfilled, the artist who brought Poland back to the world. After resigning from office, Paderewski returned to the concert stage. He performed worldwide, often donating proceeds to social and educational causes. In the 1930s, he settled in Switzerland, but continued to support Polish initiatives. When World War II broke out in 1939, he once again took up the national cause. As chairman of the Polish National Council in London, he became the voice of Free Poland in exile. Ignacy Jan Paderewski died on June 29, 1941, in New York City. He was buried with honors at Arlington National Cemetery as a hero of two nations, Poland and America. In 1992, his remains were brought back to Warsaw and laid to rest in St. John's Cathedral. He left behind not only his music, but also a legend of a man who proved that art and patriotism can change the course of history.